Hey guys, welcome back to Super Switch U. Um, Today I want to do another game keycard video because I know how much you guys love to hear me complain about game keycards. Um, but I do now have first-hand experience. I did sin, and I bought one. Bought one. I will give you the quick rundown of that, and uh, kind of look over the things that come with this, pros and cons of keycard, and then we're going to review the game itself, ignoring the fact that it's a keycard, because yeah, obviously that would like take off a whole star and a half for me, the fact that it's a keycard. So we're going to ignore that and just treat it like it's just a base game. So without further ado, let's jump in. So, quick basic rundown of how I ended up with Street Fighter 6, a cursed, awful, very bad game keycard. GameStop was running a promotion. The same promotion they were running when pre-orders were live for Switch 2. And that was not only, the traditional 10% extra trade credit when you're a pro member, but then you get an extra 20% when trading towards a new or pre-order uh, game, and then an extra 20%, or it was supposed to be an extra 20%, when used towards Switch to new games or pre-orders. So it should have came up to 50% more than their regular trade credit for all trade-ins towards this. And when it was going on for the Switch 2, I did that a couple of times, and once you pay off whatever it was, if it was just a little cheap accessory back then, or it was a cheaper game, all the extra credits still got the bump, and you could put that towards whatever. Um, so I was going to do that here. A couple weeks ago, I had tried, and I didn't get the extra 20% because of Switch 2. And so I was trying to think of, why did I not get this extra 20? Because I didn't, really piece it all together right away, and I didn't fight them on it because it wasn't worth it. Um, but thinking about it, the trade a couple weeks ago was towards Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Switch 2 edition, and also Pokemon Legends ZA, Switch 2 edition. So that way, my Best Buy pre-order could be switched later to something like Kirby Air Riders or Hyrule Warriors, but I need some time for those pre-orders to open. I can't put extra, trade credit and stuff towards games I can't pre-order. So I was gonna just, get Pokemon Legends ZA from GameStop, and then later cancel the Best Buy pre-order for Pokemon and move it over to a different game. I've already done that once because it started as Daemon X Machina, and new financial situation dictates that I'm probably not going to buy much for the next 5 years unless I can come up with a new way to make money, and a lot of it. So hopefully things get better in the next year or so, but we'll see. So anyway, so I was trying to do the same thing to try to get one additional pre-order paid off and taken care of, so I could switch it later to a pre-order that I want. And I figured I would actually try a Switch 2 game instead of a Switch 2 edition, like I did that first one. And there were not Switch 2 games that I actually wanted that were fully on the physical cartridge, except for Daemon X Machina. But when my options are extremely limited, taking a chance on a franchise that I really have not jumped into before didn't make a lot of sense. So I was looking, and they had a copy still in store, so I put the first 60 $66 after tax towards this. And then the rest of it went, and by rest, I mean like I paid off another thing, but paid off Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV, partially by trading in Mario Party Jamboree, and then some other stuff. But I didn't just fully use trade credit for that either. I had about $18 worth of coupons, mostly from buying the Switch 2 and all the stuff that I got. So about $40 plus tax instead of the 60. So it was a cheaper keycard sin that I committed. But it's I just realized I gotta take the game out if I'm gonna show you guys all the stuff. But that's sort of why I picked up a keycard. And there's an interesting story that goes along with that, because I did not get to just come straight home with it and play it. It's just Sunday night, 2 days ago, and we were busy most of that day. I mean, I had to work, and my wife had to work. So we got home, and we were working on stuff, and by the time we were finished and I concocted this plan of what I was going to take and trade in and go over there to do it, it was about 7 o'clock. They closed at 8. So drove over there, took care of this, got done, and before we went home, my sweet pregnant wife wanted some ice cream. So I dragged her along to doing this whole thing. So we went and got ice cream. We went to Brahms and then drove around for a little bit to get my son Logan to sleep. And so we got back about 8:30. Immediately popped this thing in, put the code in, and started all the downloads. DLC's finished almost immediately. This, however, I said it's nice. If you can read that somewhere on there, it's a 50 gigabyte download. It's just for the game. That did not finish immediately. No, to the contrary. Started at 8:30. Son was asleep, so we were cleaning the living room. Jumped in the shower. Did a few other fun time things. And about 10 o'clock, pulled the Switch 2 off of the dock and went to bed to start trying to wind down. I was like, okay, well, we'll wind down, but I want to see Street Fighter. I just picked this thing up. I would like to see it before I go to bed and have to work the next day. And lo and behold, it's still downloading for another like 15 to 30 minutes. 2 hours. Frickin' 2 hours to download that thing. You want to know why people aren't supporting Game Keycard? 50 gigabytes of data on a system that has about 256 gigabytes storage. It's actually less after all the updates and stuff. So you're knocking out like 50 of that. That's at least a fifth of your entire storage space. And then 2 hours to download. Granted, I don't have a LAN cable connected, but I have decent internet. Like, it's fiber optic, high speed internet. So this should have been a quick process. And it sure wasn't. It sure wasn't. I didn't even have a game open because this thing had to be in. And the thing I was playing before that, it was good old Cyberpunk. So, yeah. All those people that keep defending key cards and like, I don't understand why you guys are boycotting the game key cards. It might be the only way we get the games. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, one, you could buy it digitally and not have to put the cartridge in every time. I'll show you guys in a minute. Like, You have to have this cartridge in to play it. You don't get to just download it and play it whenever you want to. That cartridge always has to go in to play this game. So, that's why digital people don't want to buy a game key card. You could just get all the benefits of digital without the side effects of cartridge, physical copies. And us physical people, we don't want to use up all that storage on those very expensive Express SD cards and waste the time to download it. Because if I buy a game, it's a little economics consumer lesson here. Me and your average consumer, if I go to the store and I pick this up, it's supposed to be right here, and I take this home and I pop this into my system here, my good old Switch 2 that I spent a lot of money on, I should be able to play this right away. Granted, yes, there's a border here, but those people that might not notice that too, and I did do a video about is the Switch 2 idiot proof. Good old people that won't see that Switch 2, they don't got time to read all that. Game key card, well, that means that there's a card in there. And I don't got my reading glasses on. I'm not going to read all that small print. I don't know. This is the voice. I could have done a different one, but that's what we're going with. But yeah, so nobody's gonna read that. I keep throwing this thing around. I'm a little irritated by the download. So if Capcom ever watches this, you see this here and what you did, don't do it again. Just never do it again. But yeah, so no, we don't want those downloads, because this, when I pick this up right here, or this one, or this one, or this one, I didn't have to download anything. Picked it up, brought it home, played it immediately. There was no freaking 2-hour download. Now, yeah, sometimes there's updates. Sometimes you gotta wait on those updates. But most of the time with your physical games, you could still play it in and do the download in the background and play, even if it's not all the improvements or whatever, you can still play it most of the time. Sorry, getting worked up here. So anyway, that's my spiel. Like, key cards still suck. First-hand experience, they suck. But we're gonna look at this bad boy. I already opened it, so it's not a unboxing. It's just here's the box. There you go. Look at that. Look at all that Street Fighter goodness there. Look at it. And it supports 2 players on dock, 2 players on hand or tabletop mode. It supports the Pro Controller and Amiibo. If you have $40 per Amiibo to spend, and you want to buy up all those cards, it'll support them. Now, inside. Ooh, take a look. Alright, so this doesn't actually look like this. I had already recorded this once and realized I needed to start over because I was going too long. Already redeemed that code, so good luck trying to take that. But this is what you see when you first pop it in. It's got your code and a breakdown of what's in there. You flip that open, you got the nice artwork from the cover, you got the download instructions, and then just basic. So it's a little pamphlet on how to use a key card. But there is inside artwork there a little bit. Just not enough to consider that a reversible case. And you're definitely good luck enjoying that through the red. I almost didn't even know it was there the first time. But then here's your cartridge. And it just looks like a typical Switch 2 red cartridge. But the thing I didn't notice at first, even though it doesn't say key card, It does have that little key right up there in the corner. To remind you, this is basically a worthless piece of plastic, but is now required to play your downloaded digital game. Just FYI. Alright, so with that whole spiel out of the way, and just a reminder that almost everything's a game key card, and game key cards suck so hard. It's not even funny. So, review. I'll try to keep this simple, but there are 3 different options from the main menu, so 3 different main modes to Street Fighter 6. So we'll talk about those very quickly. The first option is World Tour, which you create a custom character or avatar, and you get trained by, I believe it's Luke first. I think that was his name. Like, it's definitely the guy I'm thinking, but he trains you, and you do a bunch of missions and stuff around Metro City, and in that, things like going to certain places, getting certain items, fighting certain people or amounts of people, and it seems like all or almost all NPCs are fightable. One of the first missions that you have to do, it says to go up and fight 2 random people, and you push the Y button, and if they're fightable, then they'll start a fight with you almost immediately. I fought the pizza stand guy because I wanted to see if you could do it. It's like you could fight anybody, so I was like, okay, Mr. Pizza Guy, I don't like your pizza prices. I'm going to fight you. And he regrets ever fighting me. Should have got a free pizza out of it, but I didn't because I kicked his butt. I kicked it good. So yeah, it's kind of weird. Does seem like a lot of filler, and there's a lot of walking. Kind of like my complaint with Switch to Welcome Tour, and there's walking for the sake of walking. There's walking for the sake of walking in Street Fighter. This isn't even the only mode that has that complaint either, right? Because I'll get into that in a second. Anyway, it seems like, though, it is a campaign mode. It just doesn't seem like there's much of a story in the campaign mode. So, it kind of feels like it's there to exist, sort of. I mean, you can have some fun with it. It's just your character, from what I've played so far, you can really only learn moves from your masters, like teachers and whatever, that you have unlocked of their moves, and those become your specials. And your regular punches and kicks and stuff are very basic and generic. So you can kind of have your own person, but you're gonna have the move sets of different characters. You get customization items. Haven't found any that I really like though so far, but I am at the beginning of the game, so that might change. So it's all right. It just feels unnecessary for Street Fighter, but it's okay. Battle Hub is the next option, which is online play. Probably my most hated mode in this entire thing. Sorry, I got the fly flying around. I don't know if you see it on here, but it keeps coming back. But the online battles are done through Battle Hub, and once you sit through the very excitable, bubbly announcer person explain all the different things, then you actually get into what is Battle Hub, a very large arcade. I'm not kidding. You use your custom avatar that you use in World Tour, and you walk around this place, and there's 2 different stands. I believe you buy stuff from each. One of them's gears, like customized clothing items and stuff. The other one, I don't remember what the other one was. It felt very unnecessary, but I, for the life of me, can't remember. I did not stay in Battle Hub very long. And then you walk up to one of many arcade machines, all the same. They all do the exact same thing. You're just creating a lobby for someone to join to fight you, or you jump into someone else's already started lobby. The arcade machines are used to fight with Street Fighter characters, and then there's an open area at the very center of this thing for fights with your avatars. Yeah. And that's it. But there's unnecessary walking for the sake of walking in this too, because a simple menu, it's just like ranked matches, just casual matches, avatars, Street Fighter characters. You should have been able to just pick that and go. Especially on a system where the Joy-Cons are used as mice and you could just go and like click it. It seems like it'd be so much simpler. Just click on the thing that you want and not have to walk to it. I don't know, man. I don't got time for that. My playtime is limited because I have kids. I'm going to have kids. Got the one. I'm gonna have another one in August. I don't have time to walk to an arcade machine. You just take me to that online board place and let me fight. That's all I want. That's all I want. I just want to fight. I practiced. I just want to fight. Fighting Grounds is the third and probably best option out of the three. Because that is your Street Fighter. That is basic, simple, beautiful Street Fighter in one nice little package. Story mode, arcade mode, versus special fights, all of it is in Fighting Ground. You pick out of the however many fighters is on here. What does it say? 26? 26 fighters. You pick your fighters, you pick your place, you battle. You go into story mode, you pick your fighter, you get your story battles, which there's a nice little option. You can have a simple 5-fight story mode if you don't have time, or you can do 12 fights and still enjoy the exact same story as if you had picked the 5-fight one. Story at the beginning, story before the last fight, story after the fight. And all those cutscenes get unlocked in the gallery. It's very simple, very easy Street Fighter. That's what I wanted. That's all I want, Capcom. That I just want Street Fighter. Just give me basic Street Fighter. Just put some new characters in it. Update the old character models. Give me some new places, new stories to go further into the depth of the characters that are here. Something simple. No Battle Hub, no World Tour, because they're not necessary. They feel very unnecessary. I don't even know if I'll make it all the way through World Tour. I screwed up my character, and I'm kind of embarrassed, but I made his shoulders too wide, his head too small, and his stomach too big. So now he kind of looks like a freak. So, yeah, he's not good. He's not easy on the eyes. That's for sure. So, yeah. But I mean, when it comes to like just actually playing, it's great. There are some very interesting new characters. I can't say that any of them would really be memorable past this game, except for cannot remember her name. Hold on, let me find it real quick. Melissa something. The weird way that she stands when you're in the character selection. She's like, or I say she. It could be a he. I don't know. It could be a they them. But the point is you can't tell. They are ducked down, head down, and the haircut kind of looks more like Magneto's helmet. It kind of looks like the Juggernaut. I'm not kidding. It did. It looked like the Juggernaut. Uh, so I might remember that one, but the other one's probably not. But the returning cast though is pretty great. They've updated the roster to look older. Ryu's sporting a big old beard. Ken looks homeless for some reason. Chun-Li looks like an Asian mom that is trying to push her child into being a genius musician, doctor, lawyer, president. So, uh, yeah, it's hard to explain, but like she did not age as well as you would have thought. Um, and then Guile still looks like Guile with no eyebrows, and that's great because I pick him, because Guile only fights without his eyebrows. Um, and we got E Honda coming back. Blanca comes back in this. Zangief, who can crush sparrow egg between thighs. You got Terry from was it King of Fighters? I think. M Bison is looking real dark. Dulcim has not died yet, so that's a blessing in itself. Long live Dulcim and his weird stretchy arms and fire breathing abilities. It's always the old guys in these fighting games, I've realized, that have the weird mystical powers. Like, you look back at Tekken and uh, Mortal Kombat and stuff. It's all the old guys. But what was I going back? What was I coming in here for? Was it? No, no, no. It wasn't Johnny. Okay, so Marissa. Yeah, like look at that. Look at that right there, and tell me that doesn't give off some Juggernaut, Magneto, Offspring vibes. Just the way that the hair's sitting, it looks like his helmet. Like no joke. But uh, yeah. So I don't have a lot of complaints about the roster. Just I don't know, the new fighters don't have a lot of uniqueness, I guess, when it comes to it. So I will probably forget who they are by the next Street Fighter game. But so that's I think that covers enough of the game to give you guys a review score. Just like with the Kart World and the Switch 2 Welcome Tour scores, is will be out of 5 stars. And this is a tough one. It really is. It's definitely more than 1, more than 2. Definitely going to get that 3rd star because, yeah, I don't like the other 2 modes because they feel very forced and unnecessary. If it was just fighting grounds, I would be very happy with this game. Still, it looks great. The story modes are awesome, and being able to pick the size of like how many fights in it, I like that. I like that if I don't have the time to do a long story mode, I can shorten it down. The different choices for controls between classic and modern, and I think dynamic was one, and might have been a few other ones. There's enough customization that it can be fun with most fighting styles, depending on what games that you like. So, I think it's actually really well done. It looks great in docked mode. It looks great in handheld mode. So, you know what? I'm gonna say it. If we ignore the fact that it's a game key card, I'd give it a 4 star. I would. If you're gonna buy it though, I would say just buy it digitally. Still get the fighter pass though, because without those extra 8 characters, uh, that roster feels kind of small, and that makes it what 18 in total, and it takes out Akuma, it takes out Bison, it takes out Terry. Uh, no, I think that's the only ones that I cared about anyway. I didn't really know the other characters that got added, so no problems with that. But it is nice to have a wider variety anyway. So I would definitely say get the fighter pass if you're gonna get it, but probably just do that digital one unless later on they come out with a not a game key card mode version of this. And Capcom, that would be great. I would probably rebuy it to get the physical one, and then sell this to somebody after, because that's a rough one. I mean, I get like it's just a one-time download. I'm still frustrated about it. I am still upset that I had to wait so long, because it's like there's 2 hours, right? So 8:30 to 10:30. But then I was forced to create a character before I could even start this thing. I fell asleep creating the character, so I didn't get to do any fights with this until the next morning, quickly before I had to go to work. I finished up, and that's probably why I screwed up my custom character, was that I was rushing, and I got to do one fight. I got to do one versus fight, and then I had to go to work, where it was not a simple 8-hour day. I didn't get home until I believe it was after 3 o'clock. So almost 24 hours later, I got to freaking play it. That's unacceptable. If I'm buying this from the store, I should not have to wait that long to enjoy the thing I spent money on. And I get, oh, it's just a license or whatever. But still, that is absolutely unacceptable for that. At that point, just make it a digital only, because this is a waste of time. Straight up. I've complained and complained and complained on this channel about game key cards. Being 100% honest with you, my review for a game key card for literally anything, it's a waste of time. If you're not going to give the entire game on the cartridge, there is no point, because the only market that you're really going to hit with a game key card is people who are buying physical. Okay? Because my wife doesn't care either way, if it's a digital or if it's a physical game. Unless she really likes the game, she wants it physically. But she could just get every game digitally, and she would be perfectly happy with that. However, she has said, when it comes to games that she wants, because she did not want this game, if it's a game key card, she's going to buy it digitally. She said she doesn't want to waste the money on a card. I'm now realizing that I don't want to waste the money on a card. This is pathetic. And you could blame 64 gigabyte cards being the only option all day long. But there is an interview done with the guys over at Limited Run Games. These guys right here, that they thrive on this. They did an interview, and they said that pricing is not going to affect their price model as it stands. They are not going to have to do higher prices to sell the physical games. So they're still going to make money. And they're not making all of the games. They're putting it on the cartridge, but with things like No More Heroes and some of those other ones, they have to get the rights from the companies. So they're losing money there, because that money's got to go back to those companies. And then they're paying for the cartridges, and they're putting it all on there. And they're saying that they don't have to raise the price for their stuff. They don't have to compromise the value over pricing. So if they can do it, then large multi-million-dollar companies like Capcom, like Sega, like Square Enix, they can do the same thing. They can absolutely do the same thing. The interview said that the whole reason for game key cards had to do with finishing the game to get it approved to put on store shelves or something. Like they go into details. If you find that interview, or if I find it, I'll put it in the comments, or not the comments, but like I'll put it in the description for the video. But they said it had to do with having a complete game on a cartridge or whatever to get it to retails. And so if they're just putting a license on a cartridge, they can get this approved to be sold at these stores, to have the space reserved, whatever, and then they can keep working on the game. Like, that's the reasoning that Limited Run gave for it. That's stupid. That's not worth this trash. It's trash. The game itself is good. Just don't waste your time with a game keycard. Hopefully Capcom gets that message quickly before we have any kind of talks of Mega Man or Resident Evils, anything like that, the important stuff, or the next Street Fighter. Hopefully they figure it out by then. So that's all I got for you guys today. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you've played Street Fighter 6 and you like the game, or you don't like the game, you disagree with my opinions on certain parts of it, say it down below. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation, a back and forth, you know. Let's get this out there. Let's let's have a comment fight, I guess. I don't know. Probably not that. Let's not fight in the comment section, but we'll discuss in the comment section. Whatever you want to talk about, that. Opinions on game key cards, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me. Let's talk about it. And yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.